We all know that Liam Gallagher is an amazing frontman, a true rock and roll star, and of course, a legendary vocalist with Oasis.
Bring the love, it's ecstasy. You said we'd live forever. One day you'll shatter like a wall of glass.
But Liam Gallagher's solo career has also turned out to be a treasure trove of modern classic songs, post-Oasis attitude, and of course, great singing. But what are the best Liam Gallagher solo songs? Let's find out. Hey everybody, it's Nick here with you. Welcome back to the channel. So I've been doing a lot of Oasis related videos here on the channel, and last week I ran down my top 10 Noel Gallagher solo songs. And this week it's Liam's turn. And I've really loved Liam Gallagher's solo career in general, going all the way back to Beady Eye in 2011, which was essentially Oasis without Noel Gallagher. And I think that Liam Gallagher has proven that he can hold his own as a solo artist, and really he's arguably bigger than Noel. I think that Liam Gallagher has done a great job of continuing the Oasis legacy. He's played legendary Oasis venues like Nebworth. He keeps that true rock and roll spirit of Oasis alive a little bit more than Noel Gallagher does. And just like the Noel Gallagher list that I made, it was very hard to whittle this down to 10 songs, but I did it. So without further ado, here are my top 10 Liam Gallagher solo songs. Oh, and just a quick note, I didn't include anything from the John Squire and Liam Gallagher album that came out this past January. It's a good record, but I don't really think any of the songs on that record would live up to the other songs on this list. So here we go. Coming in at number 10 of my top 10 Liam Gallagher solo songs, we have Bring the Light.
I bring the light, you get to see. Bring the love, it's ecstasy.
Bring the Light was the first thing that we heard musically after the Oasis breakup in 2009. And when you think about it, this is probably the most straight up rock and roll / soul song that we've heard in the entire Gallagher discography in general. I love the rock and roll roly-poly piano in here. I love the thumping drums. And I don't really know if it's as well loved by Gallagher fans out there, but I love Liam's vocal on here. He thrives with this rock and roll stuff. And Bring the Light's the type of song I'm not sure that Oasis would have ever recorded. It's maybe a little bit too old school rock and roll with that rock and roll piano happening on there, but I think that was a great progression for Liam to do this kind of song with Beady Eye. Coming in at number 9, we have Better Days. And I said in my top 10 Noel Gallagher songs video that Noel's music is really uplifting and positive, and I have to say that Liam Gallagher's music continues in that vein as well. It's very positive, it's very uplifting, and I think that's something that I've really appreciated about both Gallagher's solo careers. They've continued that vibe over from Oasis. And it's one of those songs that Better Days is one of those songs that just lifts you up and makes you feel like $1,000,000. I always say if you're having a bad day, listen to this song, listen to Better Days. I love the strings, I love the production, and I know that Liam is known for being a little bit of a hard lad, but he's a softie at heart, and this song really represents that soft side to Liam that we always see and that we know and love.
If you're lost, I'll find you there, with the sunlight in your hair, and the sadness washed away by the rain.
Coming in at number 8 on my top 10 Liam Gallagher solo songs, we have Everything's Electric.
City is burning, sinking ships in the ocean.
This was the first song and the first single that we heard from Come On You Know, the third Liam Gallagher solo album that came out in 2022. And it features Dave Grohl of Foo Fighters fame and Nirvana fame, of course, doing the drums on this track, doing his best Beastie Boys Sabotage style drums. And I think this song in particular, Everything's Electric, combines all the things that we love about the sound of Liam Gallagher. It's got a combination of that rock and roll attitude and that rock and roll sound that we love, combined with those just crazy catchy melodic vocals. It really is everything we know and love about Liam Gallagher distilled into one track. And it's got great production on there too. Liam Gallagher's employed a lot of great producers on his records, including Greg Kurstin, who's worked with the Foo Fighters, as well as Andrew Wyatt, and they bring that modern production and cool sound to Liam Gallagher's solo material and makes it sound awesome and modern, just like pretty much everything else we've heard from the Gallaghers. Like I said, Liam's solo sound in general and this song is a great combination of everything that we know and love about Liam, and I think that Everything's Electric is one of his best singles by far. Coming in at number 7, we have Once. All right, so we know that Liam is the king of rock and roll, not Elvis. Liam is the king of rock and roll, but he's also the king of the great rock ballad. And Liam Gallagher has had some doozies of ballads in his solo career and with Oasis, but I think that Once is one of the best. And is this song about Noel? I feel like we think that every Liam Gallagher song is about Noel. And Liam Gallagher's voice, as much as he's known for singing those great rock and roll songs, his voice is so well suited to ballads like Once, and he can just break your heart just like that. But when he's singing sad songs like this, when we think it's about Noel, it makes me sad for an Oasis reunion, even though I love all the solo stuff that Gallagher's have put out.
When the dawn came up, you felt so inspired to do it again, but it turns out you only get to do it once.
And at number 6 in my top 10 Liam Gallagher solo songs, we have The Roller. I remember hearing The Roller for the first time when I was coming back from a trip with my band down in New York City. I sat down on my computer and I heard this song for the first time. It was really one of the first songs other than Bring the Light that we heard from Beady Eye after Oasis broke up. And it just sounded like Oasis were back in some sort of form. And it felt a little bit like a revelation. It was a leftover track from the Oasis days. I think it was written by Gem primarily. It sounded like Oasis and it was a well-written song. It kind of sounded like we had Oasis back, but just a little bit. And I think it's one of the best Beady Eye songs in general. That first Beady Eye album, Different Gear, Still Speeding, was really great, but the second album, B, was a little bit of a disappointment for me, and actually none of the songs from that record made this list, which is kind of unfortunate. And I think in general, that first Beady Eye album and songs like The Roller really proved that they could write songs without Noel and they could continue on without Noel. I don't think it quite worked out in the end, but it was a valiant effort for sure.
Call me the roller, I just want to show you.
Coming in at number 5 in my top 10 Liam Gallagher solo songs, we have Come Back to Me. This is another great track from Liam Gallagher's solo album, As You Were, which came out in 2017. And Liam's vocal range continues to astound me. I know he's had some up and downs over the years with his voice, but his vocal range is still insane, especially on songs like this. He sounds absolutely incredible on the vocals on this track and the As You Were album in general. And when you think about it, his solo material has a different vibe than Oasis, but at its heart, it's still very much rock and roll music. And I think As You Were and his albums since then have taken a more of a modern rock kind of sound in general.
Everyone out there says you've been tested, man, and done, trying to make a scene. Why don't you come back to me?
But there's so much to enjoy here musically. There's lots of earworms going on, lots of different melodic ideas going on. Both Gallagher brothers continue to astound us with melodies that stick in our heads and are insanely catchy. Coming in at number 4 on my top 10 Liam Gallagher solo songs, we have Millionaire.
Medals on your premonition rags. You just need to know yourself. Love him like a millionaire.
I know this track was technically written by Andy Bell, I believe. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments below. But you know what? Beady Eye songs, they still count on this list. And at the time of the release of Different Gear, Still Speeding, we were wondering what would Oasis sound like without Noel? And of course, Beady Eye was the answer. And I think in general that the band fared well on that debut album without their chief songwriter, the chief Noel Gallagher. They had some great contributions on this album from Gem, Andy, and Liam, which is a little bit more akin to some of those latter day Oasis albums that we had that had all those different members writing. The opening acoustic riff is super catchy, has lots of swagger to it. The melody is breezy. It goes along with that riff. It's like a great road song, Millionaire. You can see yourself cruising around with this one. It's super catchy, and the vocal really, even if it wasn't written by Liam, is tailor-made for his voice. Coming in at number 3, we have Diamond in the Dark. In comparison to As You Were and Why Me, Why Not, Come On You Know is a little bit different. It has trippier, more unconventional production that took me a little while to get used to. This song is really moody. It's really dark. It reminds me of Liam Gallagher meets Arctic Monkeys. If that's what they were going for, it's totally mission accomplished on that. I love the snap of the drums on here. I love the instrumental. And then Liam's voice, really, that's what we're talking about on this list. Liam's voice continues to sound absolutely incredible. I thought he had lost his range a little bit during the Oasis days, but he seems to have gotten it back in full force on his solo material. And like I said, I wasn't really into Come On You Know, the album in general, upon first listen, but then I finally keyed into that a little bit left of center production, and then I never really looked back. And Diamond in the Dark is definitely one of my favorite tracks from Come On You Know.
Come on, I'm shining like a diamond in the dark.
Coming in at number 2, we have One of Us.
Hey kid, did you know it was 16 years ago? It was you and I for the last time.
I think that in addition to Wall of Glass, which spoiler alert is also on this list, I think that One of Us is absolutely one of Liam's best solo songs. Is it about Noel? I don't know. It certainly seems like it, but we've always attributed probably most of Liam Gallagher's solo lyrics to being about Noel. But maybe this one actually is. It sounds like it could be, because when he's singing, you know, "We Could Live Forever," that sounds like a direct reference to Noel Gallagher. I love the backup vocals on here. I love the production. And I always wondered what Liam Gallagher's solo stuff would sound like when he put out "As You Were" and "Why Me, Why Not." And then going into "Come On You Know," I think his sound in general has gone way beyond any of the expectations that I've had of his solo career over the years. And I know that his way of working is a little bit different than Noel Gallagher. Noel Gallagher is very much still a songwriter in his own right. He doesn't really collaborate with other songwriters too much. Liam Gallagher is a little bit different. He works with different producers, like I said, Greg Kurstin, Andrew Wyatt. He works with different songwriters. And I don't generally love when bands do that and artists do that, but I think with Liam it really works, and you can't really argue when the songs are this good. And you know what? I love Oasis. Everybody knows I love Oasis, my favorite band of all time, but I find myself listening to a lot more of Liam and Noel Gallagher's solo stuff over the last couple of years because the quality has just been so high.
Act like you don't remember. You said we'd live forever.
And coming in at number 1 on my top 10 Liam Gallagher solo songs, we have "Wall of Glass."
You were keeping secrets in ya. You've been keeping paraphernalia. Oh, I think you know.
After the demise of Beady Eye, after those first 2 records, it was kind of sad that Beady Eye broke up. We knew Liam was going to go solo, but what would that sound like? And I think that he came out of the gate as a solo artist with a real ripping tune. I think that "Wall of Glass" is absolutely still one of his best songs. It's got some great harmonica on there. It's got pounding drums. It's got some crazy good guitar, and it's a front to back banger right from the start. And I think that "Wall of Glass" is the song that showed the promise of Liam Gallagher's solo material and of his solo career, and he's totally delivered thus far. And like I said, he has worked with different producers and different songwriters over the years to make these solo songs, a different process than Noel Gallagher, but still really great. And I think at the end of the day, if the song is great, it doesn't really matter how the sausage is made. And when I think about great Liam Gallagher solo songs, the ones that I listen to the most, "Wall of Glass" is still one of those songs that I blast out in my car. It, has that Oasis swagger to it, that rock and roll swagger to it with modern production. And I think it still is Liam Gallagher's best solo song for sure.
And the stone you throw will turn back in its path. One day you'll shatter like a wall of glass. Wall of glass.
All right, guys, that is the list. That's my top 10 Liam Gallagher solo songs. Let me know what your favorite Liam Gallagher solo songs are in the comments below. If you like this video, I'd appreciate if you give me a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe to me here on the channel, if you want to rock out with me, and if you love to rock out as much as I do, make sure to smash that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. And you can follow me on social media across platforms, TikTok, Instagram, X, everywhere, at Nick Chino Music. And I'll see you guys again for another video here on the channel. Until then, rock on, everybody.